We now head to Rivers State, where the Rivers State Elders and Leaders Forum met on Sunday, 2023, in Port Harcourt under the leadership of His Excellency Chief Rufus Ada George, former Governor of Rivers State. The forum reviewed the outcome of its previous meetings and follow-up actions, which include letters seeking audience with the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and Chief Nyesom Wike, former Governor and presently Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. The forum urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria to consolidate on his earlier intervention, as the consequences of inaction may not only affect Rivers State, but the Niger Delta region and the federal government. They also asked the judiciary and all security agencies to be wary and alive in discharging their responsibilities in order not to worsen the already tensed atmosphere in Rivers State. And now to discuss this, we're being joined by Jide, who is a public affairs analyst, and we'll be talking more about this. Thank you so much, Jide, for joining us on the news.
Good afternoon.
Okay. It's a pleasure having you around, Jide. Now, what were the specific concerns or issues raised during the recent meeting of the Rivers State Elders and Leaders Forum led by Chief Rufus Ada George? And what actions or resolutions were proposed to help address the political impasse between the sitting governor of the state and the FCT minister?
Well, as you read in that communique, Chief Rufus Ada George, former governor of Rivers State, and other elders of the state decided to come together to mediate in the whole political brouhaha engulfing the state. And they have called on Mr. President to once again intervene. Recall that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sometimes in September or October, actually had a brief mediatory talk with both the Minister of FCT and the Governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara. And since that time, the situation has moved from bad to worse. One would have thought that a presidential mediation was going to restore normalcy, but in the last week, we have seen mass resignation of commissioners in Rivers State. We've seen the demolition of the State House of Assembly. We've seen the passage of 800 billion budgets by 4 members out of 32, which is unprecedented. A budget of 800 billion that didn't go through any first reading, second reading, committee stage, or third reading. A budget that was passed within 24 hours by just minority, who did not even form a quorum. And we could see the mediation of the judiciary giving validity to the ESIN speakership. So the situation, there was a time later we used to refer to rivers as rivers of blood. And it is to stem the tide of descent into anarchy that, the elders, Chief Rufus Ada George and other elders are saying, let's try to resolve this amicably before the situation gets from bad to worse. Because we really don't know what will happen in the course of this new week. And we don't want assassination and counter-assassination to happen between the two camps. So what the Rufus Ada George committee is saying is that all people of goodwill, starting from the president, should endeavor to mediate and reconcile the two warring parties so that normalcy can be restored in Rivers State. And their failure to do it can have a reverberating and spiral effect, not only on the entire Niger Delta region, but also the entire country.
Now, Jide, you have actually reiterated that the situation has gone from bad to worse, and there's no telling as to how reverberating this particular issue could be for Rivers State and the country. Now, when you look at how the presidency has reacted to this particular situation in Rivers State, some people have said that the reason why it's degenerated to this point is because President Bola Tinubu has been a bit passive in handling the situation or in solving that particular issue between the Federal Capital Territory Minister and the sitting governor, compared to how it actively played a role in solving the issue in Ondo State. So why is it that the federal government is a little bit reserved when it comes to dealing with the situation? Does it have to do with the personalities involved, or the government at the center is just trying to be careful, having to wade into this particular impasse?
Sincerely speaking, the Constitution does not even have any role for the president in this kind of situation. He's just acting as the father of the nation. The only institution of government that has a role in what's happening in Rivers State is the National Assembly, which, according to Section 11 of the Constitution, can take over the function of Rivers State House of Assembly. And they have exercised circumspection not to do that, believing that political solution can still be found. Again, you also need to understand that the president is in a very tight and that situation. Nyesom Wike, and this as of today, and his estranged godson, that's Sim Fubara, are both members of the opposition party. They are not members of the ruling party. So you have to be very careful how you delve into the matters of another party, which is not yours. In the Ondo State case that you cited, both Akeredolu, Ayedatiwa, and the president belong to the ruling or Progressive Congress. But in the case of Rivers, Nyesom Wike has not denounced his membership of PDP. I recall that at some point when he thought he could be expelled from PDP, he went and got a subsisting court order that he should not be expelled or suspended from PDP. So even though some of his loyalists have defected to APC, as we saw in last week, the 27 lawmaker, he still remains a member of the PDP. And the governor still remains a member of the PDP. The deputy governor is still a member of PDP. So you have to exercise caution and circumspection in delving into the affair that does not concern your party. But as a father of the nation, he has mediated. And I think another person that needs to be mobilized to get involved, if he's not already involved, is the former governor of Rivers State, Dr. Peter Odili, because it will seem like Nyesom Wike has a lot of respect for the person of Peter Odili as governor. And aside from that, it's also Patient Jonathan, who was very instrumental in bringing Nyesom Wike into power in 2015, as well as the husband, Goodluck Jonathan, former President Goodluck Jonathan. I believe if President Goodluck Jonathan, Peter Odili, and Patient Jonathan, who is also an inquiry person, just like Nyesom Wike, if they also get involved in this mediatory role, the issue can be politically resolved.
Okay, before I let you go, Jide Ojo, now appeals have been made to the judiciary and security agencies in the country. At this particular time, what would you expect these two institutions to be doing in Rivers State to ensure that they are playing their role in mitigating the already tense situation in Rivers State?
First, the judiciary has to exercise caution, because you see the illegality that was perpetrated by the IEC, the group that was officially recognized by the court, they were bolding to perpetrate that illegality last week because of the recognition by the court, by the Rivers State High Court. And that is a recipe for disaster. How can 4 members out of 32 sit, and you are saying that the court said they recognize a minority speaker? I mean, it beggars belief how, even if it's an ex parte order, I didn't expect the judge to have validated the illegality of a 4-member running a state house of assembly out of 32. However, that's one. 2, we also need to understand that the other faction to have been shopping for court injunction. They have one from FCT Abuja here, and the other faction is getting their own from the state. And that is why the judiciary need to exercise caution not to validate the descent to anarchy in Rivers State. Then the police, as an institution, and other security agencies need to remain neutral in this whole crisis. You could see that the police is giving cover to both camps when they want to meet, and they need to exercise caution not to allow illegality to be perpetrated. Even INEC, I learned that yes, using group has declared the seat of 27 member vacant and asking INEC to conduct fresh election into that 27 positions. Not so fast. The courts will have to mediate in that declaration of the seat vacant, because the other camp is saying that we defected because of the factionalization and the crisis in PDP. And they cited the fact that the secretary of PDP is not known, that there are two people claiming to be secretary of PDP. Aside from that, they also said the state is engulfed, the state PDP is engulfed in crisis. Whether that is sufficient enough as considering the provision of section 109 sub 1 G of the Constitution, it is the court that can interpret that, yes, truly and genuinely, these people should not have defected, or they were right to have defected.
We just hope that a quick resolution will come into place in Rivers State for the good and the benefit of the people in the state. Thank you so much, Jide Ojo, for talking to us.
Always a pleasure. Have a great day.